Boots on the ground will change your perspective on everything, literally. No matter what you're searching for, hands-on experience will change your mindset, period. You really don't know what you're looking at or seeing or reading until you walk around your area or anywhere. What's crazy about this certain place in Russia is it didn't turn to this until they say 1970, a mysterious fire, of course. The problem is you can't find any pictures or video from 75 years ago of what this looked like before. I want to give thanks to everybody that comes by the channel and makes it what it is. It really is a cool vibe and community. I can't thank you enough, everyone. All right, I guess that's enough of the small talk. Let's see how many questions we can ask. Crazy narratives we can decide that are just totally stupid. And look into a whole bunch of things, as usual. And let's try for one moment to knock the indoctrinated school system out of the park. Cheers, everyone.
It has begun. It has begun.
For the first segment here, I wanted to briefly bring up truth in movies, and here's a clip from Spider-Man No Way Home. The weird thing for me too is since about 99 or 2000, movies are just remakes over and over again. Nothing's like really new. Sure, there's like trilogies and stuff before 2000, but for about 25 years, it's just getting worse, and I don't really watch many movies anymore anyway, but where are the new ideas? That's really the main question. Movies were so cool back in the day and all these great ideas, superhero movies and whatever and what have you. But now it's just the same thing over and over. Why wouldn't they show maybe a cataclysmic event with buildings changing to rock? Maybe a whole world or realm, just like Star Wars with the Coruscant, what they call planet. The whole thing was a city or buildings. A few screenshots here, and I'll have it in the description box, but it's only about a minute clip, maybe less, of a world turned upside down here, but the rocks just creeping up buildings. What would give that idea? They even add a little bit of the plumbing still working here. Really, though, just a strange thing if you think about it, putting this kind of stuff in the background of a movie while you're really focused on the characters. This is just really quick in the background. They even put the same building here, over here. They're all the same building, and they've got a little bit more rock on each of them than the other. Most of them coming from the bottom up, but you do see stuff like this here. It's all in the middle, and it's kind of creeping on the outwards from the inside. They do put stuff right in our faces on every level. Just it doesn't have to be about meltology or a heated cataclysm. It could be any subject. It could be history or anything. But they put it right in your face, but it's a distraction for the characters and stuff that you're really paying attention to in the movie, and you see all this background stuff. Or even if you're paying attention to the stuff in the background, you're like, wow, what cool ideas. Where did you get this cool idea of structure and building changing to rock, morphing to rock? It's just right in our faces. Still shot here, it's just the rock creeping up the buildings. Very fast pace in the clip of the movie. I never actually saw this whole film. This was made, I think, or put out in 2021. And when I saw the clip, it was just like, wow. I saw it soon after the movie came out, but Really just wanted to point out this clip of the movie. It's in your face. They're telling us, but what they don't really tell us is how it happened. They just kind of show you a rendition of what happened. Next up, I'm going to go through some demolished buildings in the state of Alabama and also just some oddities of all the older pictures. This first one is the Mobile County Courthouse, built in 1889, they say, demolished in the 1950s. I recently got an email from a subscriber on this courthouse. They are a professional photographer. They're saying that it's not apparent when viewing the image until a specific curve adjustment layers are applied. As you can see here, I don't know how to use Photoshop at all, really. I've tried it and it just frustrates me, but obviously there is something going on here, and you can tell that something was taken out. What was in the background? These whiteouts of these skies, they're obviously hiding something, and but beyond anything else, just the architecture here is just pretty incredible. Here's a shot of the Jefferson County Courthouse in Birmingham. They give a date of 1888 for the build, and 1937 was demolished. And specifically, you have these huge buildings, of course, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You might have 10 people in those 2 or 3 square blocks here with these huge buildings, right? There's not even any people in these carts. And speaking of carts, that's what was supposed to build these buildings. Come on. And to me, the most eye-opening thing ever are these structures during those time periods, the 1800s, with this kind of stuff going on here. Why, in the first place, if you're living like that, why would you do this? Especially when it's not even your house, right? It's just for the government? Sure. Here's downtown Mobile, Alabama. That's where I was originally from. This down here is the Bankhead Tunnel, which they have a different tunnel now, but that still exists. This could be anywhere. Rome, Greece, South America, Canada, doesn't matter. And just what a mess, right? The old hard workers of the PWA, Federal Works Agency. I'm going to bring up some pictures here, some photos from 2021. And down here you can see it looks maybe possibly brickish, right? Well, the streets were basically all brick and they asphalted over the years, over and over of the brick. So have complete brick streets. So back in the 1800s, they had complete brick streets. And still today have brick streets in some spots in Mobile. And they're doing all this also with horse and cart, obviously. Here's a very interesting picture. The inauguration of Jefferson Davis, 1861. This is in Montgomery. And again, this just looks really odd. Also looks like they've taken something off here and possibly photoshopped this dome. It's 1 o'clock. And it's in 1861, and they're constructing buildings like this. And here it is again in the background. You can see it. It's the Capitol in Montgomery. It's the same building. Look at how wide these streets are. Look at how many buildings there are. Imagine how many bricks it took to make all this. Domes, spires, cathedrals, and then cheap wires and signs all over it. You can't tell me that we built this. This is from a past. And all of a sudden, you just run into this, right? Horse and wagon carts. But we're going to build stuff like this. Dirt roads. I'm willing to bet that there's some brick under there. Scrolling through, look how many columns. I don't even know if I can count that high. Look at all this. Is that absolutely necessary for the time period? I would say not. And if you look closely, are they installing this rail system? Possibly, but it looks more covered up down this way. Maybe they're digging it out. Maybe not. Maybe it was already there. Here, what looks like a postcard, possibly Birmingham, Alabama. But what is this over here? You got some pyramids just on the side of the road here. I just wanted to go through some of these in Alabama. It's just really eye-opening, especially if you do it in your own state and look at the surroundings and the people. Just literally makes no sense sticking all this crap on these nice buildings and the buildings looking old already. And of course, the whiteouts of the skies. Look at this. It's even got the thin blue line down here. Look at that. Making sure everything's under control with the authority. Here's one from Huntsville. This is supposed to be Civil War. I believe 1861, maybe, on this picture. But anyway, let's state the obvious. You have every single figure, person, looking in this direction. Everyone. And from what I can tell, even though it's not a nice quality, but it's quality enough where everybody looks to be facing towards the supposed camera. Can you even get people like to do that today? I mean, you have to have. I mean, you could, I guess. I mean, you have phones and microphones or megaphones or anything like that. But when you're having these people and figures looking at the same direction at one time in 1861, it's a little suspicious. What's also suspicious is these buildings were here built before the Civil War, and they're all just pitching tents. I mean, if the circus was in town and this might be a food court, I could understand somewhat. But let's get real here. What they tell us is an absolute lie on pretty much every level. Brother against brother. But hey, at least we got these nice looking buildings that the government own. I mean, that's what makes me sleep better at night, even though I have to go, fight my brother. This is nice. This is what they called the Imperial Hotel in Montgomery. It states that the construction is unknown. Yeah, I'll be damned. And where are all the people for these nice big buildings? Where's everybody at? And you know what? After we build these extravagant buildings, we're just going to throw wooden poles and wires everywhere. Yeah. Then we're going to hope that people will show up because, I mean, there's nobody here. Maybe it's a Sunday. Maybe everybody's at the cathedral at church, right? All like 400 of them. But at least when they get out of the cathedral and the church, they can come here and wonder what the hell happened and who the hell built this shit. And when you're building a university, this is how you build right here. This is the snack shop for higher learning. But we have to have these extravagant towers and stuff, and it even looks like it's kind of old. This window might be busted out there. I don't know. Now, back in the day, I lived in a shack, and I was fortunate enough to go to the university. And this makes complete sense. And now we're going to look at a share from Heidi Hansen in Naples. Just some really cool boots on the ground pictures here. Look at this wall. I suspect that these are bricks, barely left over, change the state of matter, just like this entire wall. I would say even melted, right? Just everywhere, wherever you go, and you can find little pieces of brick. Why is that? Hey, there's one. Just stuffed in there like it's all good. You can just feel the intense heat, electrical, magnetic energy, and whatever you want to call it. It just got cooked. Everything we walk on, everything we look at, gone in an instant, looks like. It leaves these lines, mortar lines, and blocks, and everything has just been changed and cooked out where you really don't understand what it really was before it looked like this. But we're finding out what it was now. Brick buildings, mortar, covering, metals, everything combined, then melted into what we see today. Why would that be there? I would say that was a brick, barely left over. I'm going to end it here with some boots on the ground from Anthony Jones to the left here. Just some crazy stuff.